It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Okay, Brian, I'm in. You got me sold. I am happy to do this. I'm ready to start investing, but how do I do it? What do I do? How do I think about that? That leads to the third thing that we wish young people know, or wish we would have figured out even earlier in our financial journey, is that lazy investing is the best investing. Brian, what do we mean when we're talking about lazy investing?
Well, I think that we live in this new modern world where we're trying to gamify everything. You know, we need to have fun. So that's why you see everybody getting distracted by the whole cryptos, the NFTs, and all the stuff, because it encourages you to look at it every day. That's not actually successful investing. Successful investing is going to be lazy investing, where you set it, forget it, and that automatic, inevitable wealth building process. That's what we want you to focus on.
And so why do we say that? Why do we think? Because you person that think, oh, well, no, I hear about Warren Buffett. He's out there, he goes and he picks these companies and he buys them, he becomes wildly successful. And that's true. Warren Buffett has made a very interesting career buying whole companies, right? That's kind of the thing that he's done a lot of. But when you actually look at the data, when you look at the analytics around investors, we know that according to the SPIVA data from 2021, over the last decade, the last 10 years, 86% of domestic equity funds underperform their index. So these funds that set out and say, well, our goal in investing is to do better than the index, 86% of them did not beat it. So if there's only a very small portion of managers that can beat the index over the long term, why try to go out and beat the market? Why don't you just try to be the market?
I think it's interesting. You gave the example of Warren Buffett. But remember, Warren Buffett also is the person that if you ask him in an interview, what is the investment that you've told your beneficiaries to start investing in after you leave this planet, he always tells everybody the S&P 500.
Exactly right.
Just buy into the ever-growing market, bet on America. And this is what I think is also interesting. I believe it was around 2007, he made that 10-year bet where anybody who's an active manager, a hedge fund, he put up money to a charity, of course, and said, hey, if you really believe in what you're doing, come and put your money against what I think the S&P 500 will do. And you would think, from a historical standpoint, because we had the collapse of the Great Recession in 2008, this would have destroyed his bet. But we all know the rest of the story. Warren won that bet. They actually called it early because it was such a thumping that this thing ended. Guys, you're going to learn if you just will be consistent, don't outsmart yourself, just put your money to work on the ever-expanding, accelerating rates of return of the global economy and even the U.S. economy with the S&P 500, you will be successful.
But maybe you say, no, Brian, I'm not that kind of investor. Maybe you fall into the camp where you say, I got it figured out. I can read the tea leaves. I know what's going to happen. I can do that. Or maybe you're the person that says, you know what, if it weren't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. So if I even think about doing this investing thing, I'm probably going to get it wrong and I'm probably going to buy at the worst time. Well, we said, well, let's look at that. Let's think about 3 different investors. Let's think about the best investor, right? Let's call him Billy. And let's say that he has figured out where the bottom of every single market is. And let's say he started his financial journey in 1980. And back in 1980, average income was $12,500. So if Billy is going to save 25%, that's about $260 a month. He's only going to invest at the very lowest point of every bear market that we saw from 1980 all the way until now. So he's going to build cash, build cash, build cash, and then he's going to dump in the market on the lowest day.
So this ties in because we have a lot of people right now going, I would not. If you go look at our comment section whenever we do, hey, the market's been volatile, what should you do? There's always some trollish. We won't call them full-on trolls. It's just they're in that
trolls
transformation. But yeah, they're trolls in training where they'll say, this is why I'm in cash. I'm waiting until we get to the right moment and I'm going to buy. This is the person that somehow has that spidey sense that they're going to stick the landing and build cash, but then buy on the maximum financial opportunity. It'd be an incredible illustration, but also an incredible skill set to be able to actually do that.
It would be, but then there's also, let's look at another investor. We're going to call her Unlucky Ursula. She's going to take the same strategy, but poor girl just can't get right? So let's assume that she has the exact same savings rate, but instead of buying at the bottom of every bear market, she buys at the top of every bull market. So she really gets her timing wrong. And then let's just kind of have this throwaway third person. We're going to call her Diane. And let's just say she says, I don't know how to time it. I'm going to just do it every single month. So Billy has it figured out. Ursula can't get out of her own way, and Diane is just going to be the lazy one. Well, when you think about entry dates, we're showing a chart right here. This shows the S&P 500 from 1980 all the way until now. So everywhere that you see a red number is where Ursula's going to buy. It's the top of the bull market. Everywhere that you see green is where Billy's going to buy. He is going to buy at the bottom. So you can see he's got it figured out. She doesn't. And Diane, remember, she's just the one who's kind of boring. She's just going to buy every month, stay consistent this whole time.
Let's put a quote to it. Instead of timing the market, she's going to take advantage of just time in the market.
That's exactly right.
And I thought it was interesting. Ursula, by the way, I don't know if that means Daniel has been watching The Little Mermaid.
That's got to be what it is.
Or what, but you can't help but focus on that. And then she's always showing up a day late, or a day early of when the best opportunity is. And then, of course, you have who's the maximizer? Who's nailing this?
This is Billy. Billy the best.
Billy the best is always buying at the peak opportunity. It will be amazing to see how this plays out.
All right, so we know that all three of these investors, they had the same income, they had the same savings rate, so they all saved exactly $132,436 over this time period. That's how much they put to work. Well, Billy was able to turn that $132,000 into $1.77 million.
Woo.
That is remarkable. Over a 42-year time period, $132,000 turned into $1.77. That's unbelievable. Ursula, who got it completely wrong, still ended up a millionaire. Her $132,000 turned into over $1.1 million, which is still great.
So you can be bad, the worst at investing, and still come out with 7 figures on a modest investment. That's pretty
exactly
incredible,
right.
actually.
That's exactly right. So you would assume, okay, Diane, she's probably going to come in somewhere in between. Well, if you look at her investment, she actually became a multimillionaire. She ended up with over $2 million at the end of this little experiment.
It's back to time in the market.
That's exactly
time
right.
in the market, lazy investing wins out. You don't have to worry about all the fluctuations. You don't have to worry about the news cycle. You just set it, forget it, know what you need to be saving. And that's why we always focus on, hey, if you can focus on saving and investing 25% of your gross income, you will be successful. And that's why I think practical application. Where are you at in this process?
Yep.
If you're below $500,000, take the emotion out of it, buy into an indexed, low-cost index target retirement fund that does all the asset allocation. All you have to do is figure out how much I can save each month. When do I need the money? Let it do the heavy lifting. Now, once you get over that critical mass of 500,000, yes, we can then focus on asset allocation, asset location, but let's get the fundamentals, the basics, and let your wealth be on that fundamental, set it, forget it, automatic, inevitable wealth building process.
And now here's the thing, it's not sexy. This isn't like cocktail party talk. No one's going to want to hear how, oh man, hey, guess what? A dollar cost averaged every single month throughout the course of the year. You're probably not going to get people to crowd around you in a room, but remember, it's better to actually build wealth than to try to talk about what you've been doing to build wealth.